Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through my AFL fantasy team reveal for the next round, and that is round 11. And yeah, one thing that I think we need to stress at the moment is a lot of people, and rightfully so, are doing their upgrades, and that's a good thing, but we just need to be careful about getting the right rookies in. I think that is the key point of this whole thing is we don't want to, especially with the position I'm in at the moment with my AFL, with my fantasy bench, is that we're starting to get to the point of the season we're getting clogged and we're not getting cash gen. But also in the sense we're not getting cash gen, but when the buys come up, you're really going to struggle with actually offloading guys and getting the best 18 out there. So you may drop 20 points per man for your non-primos just because you pick a guy that has poor job security. And in a sense, that could also lead to less cash gen. So I think we really need to be careful about the rookie we select actually having almost a reason behind why they're playing rather than just they're getting a debut to get a debut. And this is why I'm slightly more hesitant to go for the Collingwood boys because McCreary's out, Elliott's out. So those two will take up, I believe, Joe Rich's position in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And then you've also got Sullivan, he's got another 2 to 3 weeks, I believe. And yes, that pretty much covers him to the bye. But in round 15 as well, we need rookies playing. As round 15 also has quite a lot. I have 8 on field currently in round 15. Yes, that does have I believe 2 of my remaining rookies on that field in that week. But it's just a little bit worrisome that that could potentially come back to bite me. So before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this, preview. So, yeah, you can see here I have 11k in the bank, and I don't think you can see the trades that I've currently made at the moment, as I believe they're all in the forward line. But yeah, Nick Martin, he's now D1, no, Sheasel should be up there still. That was a late trade, again, to get Sheasel back into the side, and I'm glad that I did that, as now with McKercher out for the foreseeable future, although we will see, and it could be also Hardeman could also be out. Could he? Hardeman might be out as well, and I don't know what's going to happen with, is it Bergman? I believe they've also, that he may actually have to shift back to halfback just because they've got injury after injury after injury. And you can actually see here, one of my trades is Zach Fisher. I would usually have him in the forward line, but in the back line he is just because of the rookies at the moment. And I've got more of a full forward line at the moment. But yeah, he's there. And yeah, I really like his role at the moment. And especially with McKercher, a TBC or something, or to be determined TBD or whatever, he looks even better, to be honest with you. And so, yeah, especially with them trying to move Scott, I think, up to the wing and other guys up more the ground, it sort of leaves Zach Fisher to do whatever he wants. And we saw him put up a 1-2-1 on 11 marks. So, yeah, and they're playing Port. Port are going to absolutely smoke them. Absolutely smoke them. So I wouldn't be surprised if Port kick, and Port are also a slightly inaccurate side. I wouldn't be surprised if Port kick 15 to 20 behind here. 15 to 20 behinds, that's about 30 points just for Fisher off behinds. And then he sometimes kicks it to a guy, stays in the goal square, gets the kick back. So he eventually, I reckon he could easily have 45 to 60 points just off the back of within 5 or so disposals of a kick out. Like within the kick out to a 5 disposal span, he will gain probably 60 points, which is just dumb, in honesty. So yeah, that's the reason I brought him in. Sheasel, I think he might, as I said earlier, might float back into the back line. He was floating more back into that half-back sort of space that he was doing from that mid-forward, sort of that distributor and sort of the link. So his sort of starting position is a little bit of a, facade or whatever you want to call it. It's not really what he actually is still playing. I still think he's also playing that role. But he's not in the deep pockets like he was previously in his halfback role. So he doesn't get the cheap possessions, but he does get the transition possessions, it looks like. Nick Martin plays the Richmond. This could be a VC. I will check when we get down to the actual team. And then you got Hayden Young. He's just doing his job. I mean, his price really doesn't matter. He's got the perfect buy, and he's got Collingwood, so he should do right there. So yeah, really happy about that, to be honest with you, and just holding him. And so there's that. Then you got Lockie Whitfield. He's really struggled a couple of weeks just because of a tag that happened here, and also the Guelphy tag. Geelong, they could send O'Connor to him. I wouldn't be surprised if they send O'Connor to like a Green or something like that. But Geelong may not even tag, as they just have done before. So I'm not too worried about Whitfield there. Then we talked about Fisher, and then Zach Reid will probably have to just do something like this, honestly. As Zach Reid is suspected to be named, which will help my cash generation eventually, as he should beat his break-even of 38, you would hope, against Richmond, as Essendon could just kick it round the back for the last half. So there's that, and I'm just hoping for a couple of 60 scores out of Zach Reid just to get some cash gen flowing there. And then Will Graham, I'm not expecting to get named, but he is still doing all right in the VFL, so he's not doing too bad. Just is probably one that I need to move on next week, when I'm probably going to do 3 rookies, and I'm looking at potential upgrades, but there may not be a potential upgrade, so it may just be 3 rookies and stacking the absolute cash, so that when if I do start to sideways some primos in the buy period, or I could potentially sideways a couple primos and still upgrade a rookie as well, something like that during the buys. That'll work as well. So yeah, just some minor thoughts there about that. So yeah, it would just be trying to find 3 job secure rookies next week that I need to do, which will be quite hard because I don't think we're getting too many rookies. Butters, he was amazing in the last quarter last week, 17 touches. So yeah, just hopefully he has a decent game. It is against North Melbourne, so this is an easier matchup. We'll probably have Rosie and also Wines back playing full game, so it should maybe hinder him as the first ball user, out and out exclusively first ball user. But it should also help in case they do send someone to him, which I don't think they will. They may send Wardlaw to him, but he's just going to run rings around Wardlaw. Nick Dacos here was the VC on last week, and I didn't take his score for some dumb reason. And we'll check who he has, etc. for VC and see. I haven't actually thought about that yet. Then you've got Bontempelli, and yeah, he plays tonight. Hopefully he scores well against the Swans. I don't expect a tag from Jordan, just because if you look at the way the players that Jordan has tagged, he will be sort of, if you look at the players, then he sort of slags the slender guys. And Bontempelli is not a slender guy. He's 105 kegs or something like that. He's massive. And so yeah, I don't think he tags Bont. Steele, yeah, he's going all right. And yeah, he probably needs to pick it up. He did have a poor game, but he had 131, 100 up before that. So I think he can kick back into game. Melbourne, West Coast, Suns, and Lions before the bye. Be interesting to see. He potentially is one guy that we trade out, but I'm also worried if we trade him out that he can just get back to marking everything. Because when he marks stuff here, you'll look at the scores. When he starts marking stuff, he puts up big bombs. Bonner is doing his job down back as well, and so yeah, he's just continuing on and is almost 800k at this point. I thought he would be traded out, and I'm glad that I didn't trade him out during this sort of mid-run of 80s, as I had other problems, and he started to pick up gear again, going 129, 109 the last couple of weeks. Clayton Oliver, he's just sort of middling scores. 90s aren't really doing too much damage either way. It's not like a 70 from like Steele and stuff like that, but it's not the 110s that other guys are scoring. So would like to see him take it up a gear, get back to a couple. If he can take 3 or 4 marks, he's going to get back up there. He's slowly kicking into gear, but it's taking a while. I'm not even going to lie. It was good to see him not give away free kicks. But yeah, we just need to see him get back on form. But it is St Kilda, so hopefully he can do that. And then you got Jeremy Sharp and Darcy Wilson lining out the midfield. Those two are just doing their job at the moment. And then I did bring in Kane McAuliffe last week, as I needed to with Lloyd Meek coming in. This is almost like a re-show of what happened last week. And McAuliffe had to come in as I needed a guy 210k or less or something. and because I was bringing in Meek, I should have honestly just brought in Fisher and also slid Luke Jackson into the into the ruck position. But McAuliffe, he did his job. Lloyd Meek did his job, and Lloyd Meek now has the Brisbane matchup, which should be tough, but hopefully he can put up another ton. McAuliffe should just get a good run now because the injury worries at Richmond, and he did have a decent game. And they should probably just get to this point now of just playing the young guys. Jai Clark is another guy that I looked at trading out, as I don't think he plays this weekend. But yeah, hopefully he does, just because he needs to make some more cash or just hold cash. I hope he isn't sub again. Barnett's not going to play. Gawn and Meek, they're doing their things very slowly, I guess. We can swap those two around. But yeah, they're doing their things. Gordon did have a down week, which sucks as I had the captaincy on him. And Meek had a really good week against Port with Vicentini, which was no surprise at all, to the point that they're now going to drop Vicentini because he wasn't good enough. Shock horror. Barnett not playing, he's injured at the moment, which makes him as a loophole even more tidy, I guess. And then you got Flanders. Isaac Heaney, Dylan Moore, Jack McRae, Luke Jackson, and Tom Powell. There is 2 really good forwards and then 4 mediocre forwards. Go figure. And then you got Joel Frazier, a guy that I'm bringing in this week. I don't rate the job security of Joe Richards and also his scoring capacity as a small forward. I think he just has a 40 or 50 game in him so easily. So I'm going to just go for Joel Frazier, who has that sort of halfback role, especially if the Swans tag Dale, which I'm predicting. That will mean that either Daniel or Frazier or Bramble has to pick up the slack there that Dale isn't going to get. So it will be interesting to watch that space. And then Manor is just sitting here and waiting for him to get a game. And then you've also got Blake Howes here, who's going to be moved on next week. I'm probably going to move on Blake Howes, Will Graham, and potentially even Jai Clark, probably Jai Clark at this point, and move them on and potentially get an upgrade. Maybe move on Darcy Wilson at that point as well, given his round 15 bye, and move him to a round 14 guy. As you see here with my sort of bye structure, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys on round 14. And a lot of rookie guys, but as I said, Blake Howes is gone, Jai Clark is probably gone, and Will Graham's probably gone. So I could be trading out 2 round 14s and a round 15 guy to a couple of round 15 guys or something like that. Or maybe even 2 around, we'll see. Maybe even 2 around 13 guy or something like that. We'll just see with the rookies, as I basically want to have an even split on my bench of round 13, 14, and 15 if possible, but mostly probably going to be round 14 and 15, and try and trade off the dud guys eventually to round 12 guys that come out of the bye, etc. But that pretty much is the video. Here are the trades here. Garcia doesn't look like he's going to get back into the side, given Crouch and their whole squad is basically available, like I was saying the whole week. And Roberts, if he's back in the side, but it looks like he's going to be playing more of a wing role, and I don't rate that given his break even of 100. I know he is a guy that's going to be playing, but I just think he scores 50s now, given that he's playing more of a wing and not a full half-back role. And bring in Zach Fisher and Joel Frazier, who should outscore. Zach Fisher should directly just outscore Roberts, and Frazier should obviously outscore Garcia, given he's playing. So that pretty much is the video there, going through my trades for the week. And hopefully these trades stick. There isn't more chaos at the end of the week. And yeah, the Barnett, I'll just link it up here. And then for the captaincy options, you got Port Adelaide and West Coast play the last game of the round. Just trying to find a potential Collingwood play. I'm probably going to go Nick Dacos into a Zach Butters. Who did Nick Martin? Nick Martin, we said, plays Richmond on the Saturday night. Do I go Zach Butters or do I... no, I will go, because I don't think Richmond will tag. I will go Nick Dacos into Nick Martin. So the Knicks combining, and hopefully they can produce a really good score, and I can walk off pretty happy. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.